Right now, while you are sitting here, someone else is making the exact decision that will permanently separate them from everyone around them. Not tomorrow, not after the weekend. Right now in this moment, a version of yourself that you have never met is either being built or destroyed, based entirely on what you choose to do next. Most men never understand that the gap between the life they want and the life they are actually living is not talent, not luck, and not circumstance. It is something far simpler and far more dangerous than all of that combined. You already know what discipline feels like. You have touched it before, that cold, clean clarity when you wake before the world, work in silence, and go to sleep knowing you gave everything. But somewhere along the way, comfort crept in like a slow poison, and you started negotiating with yourself. You started saying tomorrow. You started watching other men build while you consumed, and you told yourself it was fine. Here is what no one will ever say directly to your face. There is a closing window, and most men never even notice it shutting. The question is not whether you are capable. The question is what you are still waiting for. Look around at the average man today. He wakes up at the last possible second, reaches for his phone before his feet have even touched the floor, and spends the first hour of his day feeding his mind on noise, drama, and manufactured outrage. He complains loudly about where he is, but refuses quietly to change what he does. He talks about ambition in the same breath he uses to make excuses. He wants the results without the process, the transformation without the discomfort, the respect without the sacrifice. And then there is you, or at least who you are in the process of becoming. You are here right now, watching this, which already means something real. It means a part of you refuses to accept that this version of your life is the final version. It means somewhere beneath the surface, a fire has not gone out. But let me ask you something honest. How long has that fire been quietly waiting for you to actually feed it? Because wanting is not enough. Deciding is not enough. The men who truly rise are simply the ones who refuse to let one more day pass without deliberate motion. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine yourself 12 months from now. Not a fantasy version, not a wishful thinking version, a real version, built from real decisions made in real, uncomfortable moments that no one else witnessed. Imagine waking up and genuinely looking forward to the day ahead. Imagine your body being stronger, your mind sharper, your conversations more intentional and more powerful. Imagine the people around you noticing the shift in how you carry yourself, in the way you speak, in the way you handle pressure without flinching, in the quiet authority that surrounds you without you having to perform it. That version of you is not a fantasy. That version is simply the natural consequence of what happens when a man decides to stop wasting what is already inside him. But here is the part they never show you in the highlight reels and success stories. The transformation does not begin in the big dramatic moments. It begins in a 5-second window, when you choose discipline over comfort while no one is watching, and no one will ever know what you chose. What you decide in that invisible moment determines everything that follows. Here is the part of the conversation that most people skip because it is genuinely uncomfortable. Every single day you choose distraction over discipline. You are not standing still. You are actively falling behind. The world does not pause because you are not ready. Opportunities do not extend their deadline because you have not decided yet. Other men are making the calls, building the habits, and absorbing the knowledge that you keep telling yourself you will get to later. And the brutal truth is that later almost never arrives in the way you imagined. The men who were in your exact position 5 years ago and did nothing are still standing in that same position today, except now the gap is wider, the weight is heavier, and the excuses have grown more sophisticated and more convincing. FOMO is real, but it is not about missing parties or trending moments. It is about missing the version of yourself that is available to you right now, at this age, with these specific resources, in this specific window of time, a version that will never exist in quite this form again. Every day of delay is a debt you are taking out against your own future self. There is something that almost no one talks about in the early stages of real change, and it is the reason most men quit before they ever see results. Nothing looks different. You wake up, you do the work, you sleep, and you repeat, and from the outside, absolutely nothing appears to have shifted. Your bank account looks the same. Your body looks nearly identical. Your circumstances feel stubbornly familiar. And this is the precise moment where the majority of men abandon the process because they cannot see what is actually happening beneath the surface. But growth does not announce itself early. It accumulates silently, like water filling a massive container that no one can see from the outside. You cannot tell it is rising until the day it overflows, and everyone around you is stunned by what they casually call overnight success. Do you know what the Stoics understood about this that modern men have largely forgotten? They knew that invisible work was the most sacred work. Marcus Aurelius wrote his meditations in private, never intending them for an audience. He built his character in the silence for discipline alone. Here is something that modern psychology and Stoic philosophy both agree on completely. And once you understand it, it will permanently change how you see every single habit you carry. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your identity. This means the real war being fought is not about building a workout routine or waking up at 5 in the morning. The real war is about who you believe you are when no one is watching and nothing is at stake. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you are casting a vote for a new identity. Every time you follow through on a commitment you made to yourself, no matter how small or how unseen, you are rewriting what you believe you are capable of at your core. Over time, those votes accumulate into something unshakable. And one day, you look up and realize you are no longer someone who is trying to be disciplined. You simply are. That shift from effortful to automatic is the most powerful transformation a man can experience. But here is what almost no one discovers. It begins the moment you stop performing for others and start building for yourself. Nobody prepares you for the specific loneliness that comes with genuine growth. They show you the results, the before and after photos, the clean and inspiring success stories. But they do not show you the Friday night when everyone else is out and you are at home guarding your standard. They do not show you the moment you realize that certain friendships only ever worked because you were small enough to fit inside them comfortably. Growth changes you, and that change creates distance. Some of the people who were your closest companions will feel quietly uncomfortable around the new version of you, not because they are bad people, but because your discipline silently challenges their comfort and their choices. That discomfort makes people pull away, or worse, attempt to pull you back to the version of you that never threatened their sense of where they stood. Epictetus taught that the price of freedom is always paid in some form of sacrifice. The Stoics were honest about this in a way that modern self-help refuses to be. Real growth will cost you certain rooms, certain relationships, and certain versions of yourself you once called home. Drop a comment below. What have you had to walk away from to move forward? And then one day, without ceremony, without announcement, the results begin to surface. Your posture is different. Your voice carries weight that was not there before. You stop over-explaining yourself in rooms where you once sought approval from people who never deserved your energy. The body you built in silence starts speaking for you before you open your mouth. The financial discipline you maintained through the uncomfortable months begins compounding into something undeniably real. The reading, the early mornings, the difficult choices, they stop being things you force yourself toward and become things you simply are. People begin to treat you differently, not because you demanded it, but because you built the kind of inner world that radiates outward without effort or performance. But here is what genuinely surprises most men who reach this point. The greatest reward is not external at all. It is the quiet, unshakable confidence of a man who knows exactly who he is and what he is built from. Seneca wrote that the greatest wealth is a poverty of desires. The man who has mastered himself needs very little from the outside world because he has already won the most important battle available to him. I want to speak directly to you right now, not the version of you that is performing, not the version that has everything figured out, but the version that is genuinely struggling and quietly asking whether any of this is actually worth the cost. It is. I need you to hear that clearly and without qualification. The fact that you have made it this deep into this video already tells me something real about who you are. It tells me you are not here for passive entertainment. You are here because something inside you is looking for permission to take the harder path and confirmation that the harder path leads somewhere worth going. It does. The discomfort you are feeling right now is not evidence that you are failing. It is evidence that you are in the active process of becoming someone who cannot be easily broken. That process is painful, it is quiet, it is slow, and it is absolutely worth every difficult moment you are currently moving through. If this channel speaks to something real inside you, subscribe, because what we build here is for the men who refuse to settle, and there is much more coming. This is the thought I want you to carry with you long after this video ends and the screen goes dark. You are not behind. You are not too late. You are not too damaged, too distracted, or too far gone from the version of yourself that you know you are capable of becoming. You are simply at the beginning of a different chapter, one that starts in the exact moment you decide that the old version of you has served its purpose, and it is time to become someone that the old version could not have imagined. The Stoics believed that every single morning was not a gift to be passively received, but a contract to be actively honored. Marcus Aurelius rose each day with the full weight of an empire on his shoulders and still chose to build his character in the private pages of his journal, away from the applause of the crowd. Seneca reminded us that we suffer far more in imagination than we ever do in reality, and the hardest part of transformation is always the decision to simply begin. So begin. Wake up tomorrow with the quiet energy of someone who has already made a choice. Move through the day with the certainty of someone who knows exactly where they are going and why it matters. Be the kind of man whose life speaks volumes before he says a single word. The world does not need more men who talk about change. It desperately needs men who become it. Drop a comment right now and tell me one word that describes the man you are choosing to become. I read every single one.